50% बोलना चाहिए ना।
नहीं 50% तो कर ही रहा है, अगर करवा ही रहा है।
कहाँ कौन है जो 50% करते हैं? हम बता, करवाओ तुम ही, वहां देखें।
My dear friends, am I audible?
Yes, you are audible.
Okay, thank you. Okay, right. My dear friends, I will explain sample C program once again. How to write a C program? First of all, you have to write hash include stdio.h. Then you have to write void main. Then you have to write open curly bracket. Then you have to write code. Code means processing statements. Then you have to write closing curly bracket. In every C program, you have to write these lines of code. This first line is called include statement. It is also called preprocessor directive. Preprocessor directive. It is called main method, or it is also called main function. The code, it is nothing but processing statement. In any C program, we can write three types of statements: include statements, main method, and the processing statements. Now, what is include statement? Include statement is nothing but it is the first statement. You have to write a hash include stdio.h at the top of the program. So it is called first statement. It always begins with the symbol hash. What we are doing here, the code inside stdio.h included into your program. It is also called as preprocessor directive, means it will be executed at the time of compilation. It gives direction to compiler, so it is called directive. We can write main method in 6 models. You can write just main, or you can write int main, or you can write void main, or you can write main of void, or you can write integer main of void, or you can write void main of void. Here it is called preprocessor statement. It will tell the computer what to do, how to do, and when to do. In order to solve a problem. To solve a problem, what you have to do, when you have to do, how you have to do. The statements, those explain these three, are called as processing statements. It is about the sample C program. Now the next concept is, what is data types? Whenever you go to hotel to do tiffin, there are so many items: idli, dosa, vada, puri. Those are called types in tiffins. Whenever you go to sweet shop, laddu, jangri, so many sweets, cakes, so many sweets are there. Those are called types of sweets. In the same manner, in data also there are some types. Those are called data types. C is a typed programming language. What is the meaning of that? C language supports data types. So it is called a typed programming language. What are the data types available in C? I will explain using the table. So see this. There are 4 types of data types. 1, 2, 3, and 4. What are the data types? Data types are character. First data type is character. You need to write char. Next one is integer. You need to write int. Next one is float. You need to write float. Next one is double. You need to write double. So these are the 4 data types available in C language. Now, what is the meaning of character? Character is nothing but ABCDs. A, B, C, D, and so on, Z. These are called characters. Alphabets are called as characters. Now, what is integer? Integer is nothing but number. 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on. 100, 101, 102, like that. So these are called as integers. Integers are nothing but round numbers. Round numbers. Float. Float means between 1 and 2 there are so many numbers like 1.1, 1.11, 1.45, 1.124, like that. So the numbers those are having decimal point, those are called float. Double also same, it is as it is float. 1.1, now 1.11, 1.45, 1.124, all these are double. You may get one doubt, sir. 1.1 you told it is float, now you are saying 1.1 it is double. What is the difference between float and double? How to identify that? You have to identify whether it is float or double. Then how to identify? So see, there is a rule, note is first one. In float, there are, it maintains 6 precisions. Precisions means digits after dot operator are called precisions. So float maintains 6 precisions. 6 precisions. Whereas double maintains up to 10 precisions. 10 precisions. I will give an example. Example 1. Now I am going to find the result. What is the result of 100 by 3? Suppose I am going to store the result in a float. Float result equal to 100 by 3. Now what is the result of 100 by 3? Tell me. 33.333333 like that. Now same operation I am doing again 100 by 3. Now what is the result of this one? 33.33333 like that. Now I am going to store the result in double. Double result equal to 100 by 3. Now here what happens? R is float. I already told you float maintains how many precisions? 6 precisions. After dot operator, it takes only 6 precisions. Like that. Whereas double, it maintains 10 precisions. So it maintains just 10 precisions. The difference between float and double is how many precisions after dot operator. That is the difference. So float maintains 6, double maintains 10. With only one, we cannot predict whether it is float or whether it is double. Why? Because we cannot say it has only one precision. Then we cannot say it is float or it is double like that. Right. Now this is about the data types. These are the examples. Whenever you store some data inside the memory, then it occupies some size, some space. That is called size. Size of character. When you store an alphabet in memory, then it occupies 1 byte of memory, 1 byte. When you store a number in computer memory, it occupies 4 bytes. When you store float in memory, then it occupies 4 bytes. It is also 4 bytes. When you store double inside the memory, then it occupies 8 bytes. So the size of character is only 1 byte. The size of integer is 4 bytes. The size of float also 4 bytes. The size of double is 8 bytes. This is about the size. All right. Now tell me what is the data type? Data type, these are nothing but the keywords. These are nothing but the keywords. Keywords means the names, those are reserved. Those are already defined in the system. So these are the keywords. For what we need to use them? These are used to explain about the type of data. These are used to explain about the type of data. These are used to explain about the type of data. In C language, there are 4 types of data types are there. So C provides 4 types of data types. 4 types of data types, right? When we need to use these data types while creating the variables. What is a variable? Variable is nothing but a container to store this data. So while creating the variables, we need to use them. So these, I will tell you what is variable later. These are used while creating variables. Variables are nothing but containers. Containers used to store the data are called variables. These data types we need to use while creating the variables. So these 4 variables, these 4 data types we have in C language. Right.
Sir, do C support complex numbers?
No.
No.
To write a complex number, we have to use the data structures concept. Okay. Linked
Okay.
list we need to use, right?
Okay.
So in C language, we cannot write the complex numbers. Now write of this. We have only 4 data types.
Okay.
There is a concept called structures. Using the structures, we can manipulate that, but we cannot. There is no special data type like as complex number.
Okay. Sir. But Python supports complex numbers, right?
Yes. My dear friends, note on this. Right. After completion of writing, please tell me. After completion of writing, please tell me, my dear friends.
Completed, sir.
Okay, Rohit, thank you. Right. Now, next concept is modifiers. Now, what is the size of integer?
4
4
bytes.
bytes. Good. Suppose I will give a small example before going to explain what is modifier. 4 bytes is the size of integer. To understand very good, I am going to give a small example. Suppose you have 4-liter water bottle. In that 4-liter water bottle, how much of milk you can store?
4.
4 liters. Yes, 4 liters.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Correct answer is up to 4 liters is the correct answer. You can store half liter. You can store 1 liter also. You can store 1.5 liter. Up to 4 liters you can store. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
0 liters to 4 liters is the capacity. In the same manner, in 4 bytes of memory, minus 32,768 to plus 32,767. The values in between these two, we can store in 4 bytes of memory. Suppose there is a person whose salary is 50,000. Then can I store 50,000 in 4 bytes of memory? No,
No.
not possible. Suppose in 4-liter water bottle, you pour 10-liter milk, then what happens? 4 liters will be there. 6 liters will be wasted on the floor. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
In the same manner, when you store 50,000 in 4 bytes of memory, it cannot store 50,000. So there is some loss of data. Then what to do? How to store 50,000? How to store 1 lakh? How to store 2 lakhs? Then what we have to do? Suppose you have 4 liters water bottle, but you need to store 10 liters milk. Then what to do? You have to change the bottle. Am I right? You have to take one more bottle whose capacity is 10 liters. Am I right? In the same manner, we have to modify the size of integer. For that, we are going to use modifiers. There are 4 types of modifiers. Long integer. It increases the size of integer from 4 bytes to 10 bytes. Short integer. It decreases the size of integer from 4 bytes to only 1 byte. Signed integer. It is used to store only negative numbers. It is used to store only negative numbers, -1, -2, -3, like that. Unsigned integers. It is used to store only positive integers. So this long, short, signed, unsigned, these are called modifiers. Clear? What is modifier? Clear? Now, modifier is a reserved word. Modifier is a keyword. Keyword means reserved word. What is the use of modifier? It is used to modify the behavior of data type. Behavior of data type or size of data type. size of data type. In C language, how many modifiers we have? 4. So C supports 4 types of modifiers, right? So example are, these are the examples. Long, short, signed, unsigned. These are the examples. These are the explanation. Right? This is about the modifiers. If you want to modify the size of data type, then you have to use modifier. Clear?
Sir, modifiers are only used in integer or any other data type.
Actually, it is useful in integer. In other also you can use. Okay, long float, long double also you can use. Long character also you can use. No problem at all. Right? But
Okay.
in general, we use only with integer. Okay?
Okay, sir.
Right. You already completed data types, no? You have to write for modifiers. Good. Write up. Note it down.
Can you please explain signed and the unsigned in?
Right. Suppose, what is the temperature of ice? -5 degrees, -10 degrees.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Temperature of ice is always in negative. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Negative means is it having sign or not sign?
sir. Sign.
These are called signed integers.
Mm.
Okay.
So that
What-
sign also will take some memory. That negative.
Yeah, I will explain. Okay, very good. Very good doubt. Right? Age of a person -5 years. Is it a valid age?
No.
No. Age of a person is always positive. 5 years to 10 years like that. So these are called unsigned integers. Am I right? Okay.
Uh-huh.
Now I already told you what is the range of integer? -32,768 to plus
Yeah,
32,767. This is the range.
Mhm.
When you use signed integer, then signed means only negative numbers. So its range is 0 to 65,000. 65,000. What is that? 7 plus 5. 5. Sum of these two. I will explain. Wait a minute. Calculator I will use. 32,767 plus 32,768. 30. What is that? Sum of? Sorry. 32,767 plus 32,768. What is that? 65,535. 65,535. So the values from 0 to 65,535, it can store in unsigned integers. In signed integers, -1 to, you can store from -1 to TO2, -1 to -65,536. Right? These values you can store in unsigned integers. You can it is unsigned integer, it is signed integer. This is the difference. Clear? The range differs. The range only differs. Is it clear or not clear? My dear friends, clear?
Yes, sir.
Very
Yes, sir.
good. Right. Now write down. Right. These are the examples. These are the usage. How we can use modifiers with the data types. Next topic is variables. After completion of rating, please tell me.
Done, sir.
Okay, right. The next concept is variable. What is a variable? I will explain in paintbrush. Data will be always stored in a device. The name of the device is called memory. What is that? Memory. Inside the memory, data will be saved. Right. It is called memory. My dear friends, where you can store money? You can
Bank.
save your money in bank, am I right? Very,
Yes, sir.
very good. It is just like as bank. Suppose I have 1 lakh rupee. I want to store in a bank. I went to bank and I throw 1 lakh rupees inside the bank and I came home. Is it the right way of saving the money?
No, sir.
No, sir.
No, then what to do? We have to store the money in our account. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
Very good. In the same manner, in memory also, before going to store the data, we have to create a container. In that container, you have to store. It is just like as a locker in bank, locker in bank. So it is called container. It is called variable. That's it. So what is a variable? A variable is a container. What is that? It is a container. Container means it is just like as water bottle. What is the use of water bottle? Why you are taking water bottle to college?
It contains water.
To store some water. What is the use of college bag? To store college books, am I right? In the same manner, container is used to store the data. So it is used to store the data. Right. Inside that you can store data. Now I am going to store a student roll number 501 is the roll number. So I am going to store this roll number inside this. Now you came to know what is that? Variable is a container. It is used to store the data. So here we have a name, no? Chandra Kiran, Rutika, Jyoti Krishnan, Siddiqui, Kaji Muhammad Saud. What are these? These are the names. How can I identify you? By a name. How can you identify me? By a name. In the same manner, it should have a name. It should have a name. So every variable must have a name. It must be identified by a name. So the name should be meaningful, no? Suppose there is a person whose name is hard disk. Is it a valid name or invalid name?
Invalid.
So you cannot name a person as hard disk, as virus, as software, as CD. These are the names for tools, not for human beings. So the name should be always reasonable. 501 is the roll number. So its name should be roll number. It should be meaningful. Right. So every variable should have a name. It must be identified by a name. Right. So it is a container. It is used to store the data. It must be identified by a name. In a container, we can store only one value. It allowed to store only one value. Suppose I kept 502. 502 I kept. Then what happens? 501 will be deleted and 502 will be stored. What is the meaning of this one? It always stores only one value, latest value. So it can store only one value at a time. At a time, you can store only one value. If you put another value, old value will be deleted and the new value will be stored. Right. Now, why it is calling as variable? Why it is not calling with a container? Means it can change its value. In previous, it contains 101. Now it is having 502. Means it is changing, no? It is changing its value. Change, it is also called as variation. So it is called variable. It can change or vary its value. So it is called variable. It is called variable. Variables, where variables will be created? These always created inside the memory. Always created inside the memory. Inside the memory only we can create the variables. Right? So these are about the variables. Now, suppose I am going to create multiple variables here. Now I am going to create one more variable. To store one more value, you have to create one more variable. To store one more value, you have to create one more variable. Now I am going to create three variables. One is roll number, second one is student name, third one is average marks. The name of the first container is roll number. The name of the second container is S name. The name of the third container is average. The student name is Navya. Navya is the student name. The student average marks are 98.5%. 98.5%. So in this way, you can create the variables. Now, to create these three variables, what is the code you have to write in C program? That is very, very important. By using which code you can create these three variables. Now I am going to explain you how to create variables. So that is nothing but creating variables, or it is also called as declaration of variables. How to create a variable or how to declare a variable. This is the diagram. I already explained you how to create three variables. It explains creation of three variables. My dear friends, what is the name of three variables? Tell me. What are the names?
Roll numbers,
Very
name,
good.
average.
Roll number.
Name and average.
Student name.
And average.
And average. Good. Now, what is the type of data? 501 is character or integer or float or
Integer.
double?
Integer.
Very good.
Integer.
Need to mention integer here. Integer roll number. What is the name of S name?
Character.
Character.
Character. So you have to mention character here. What is the data type of 90.5 or 98.5?
Float.
Float. You have to mention float here. So it is an integer variable. It is a character variable. It is a float variable. Now, whenever you mention integer, what is the size of integer?
4 bytes.
4 bytes. Now the size of this container is 4 bytes. What is the size of character?
1 byte.
1 byte. Now the size of this container is only 1 byte. But there is a problem. In 1 byte of memory, you can store only one letter. But here I stored how many letters?
5.
5 letters. Then it cannot store 5 characters. It can store only one character. Then what to do? You have to write, you have to mention the size of this variable. 100 means Now I am going to store 100, up to 100 characters it allowed to store. In this variable, how many characters you can store?
100.
Up to 100. You can store 1 letter, 2 letters, 3 letters. Up to 100 letters you can store. Now tell me what is the size of this container?
5 bytes.
100 bytes. 100 bytes. Character means one byte. How many bytes allocated you?
100.
100. 100 into 1 means 100. The size of this one is 100. You allotted 100, but you used only 5. What about the remaining 95 bytes of memory? It is useless, waste. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Is it clear? Right. Now, what is the size of float?
4.
4.
4 bytes. Now, 4 bytes, 100 bytes. In this way, you have to create the variables. These are the variables creation example. Now, tell me how to create variable. What is the syntax? Syntax means how to write the code. First, you have to mention integer. What is integer? Integer is data type. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
Data type. What is roll number? It is nothing but name of the variable. So variable name. Variable name. You have to create a variable like this. First, you need to specify the data type. Then you need to specify the variable name. Is it clear? Now, how to create a variable? Variable can be created with the help of data type and variable name. With the help of data type and with the help of variable name, you can create variables. Right? My dear friends, note on this.
Sir, instead of specifying number of characters, can't I use a long character?
No. You cannot. Right? You have to specify that.
Why?
The meaning of this one is string. String means group of characters is called as string. To create a string, this is the syntax. In this way, you have to create. Am I right?
But long character also will increase number of like storage space, right?
None. What you are saying is right, but in general, you create only strings to store the group of characters. I already told you, okay, you can use long, short, signed, unsigned, with the character, with the float, with the double also. But in general, we use only with the integer. I already explained it. Okay?
Okay.
Okay. Right. Theoretically, you are right, but practically it is not right.
Okay. Sir, C follows dynamic allocation in storage or static allocation?
Dynamic allocation also possible by using pointers, right?
Okay.
But now we are allocating memory, no, it is static.
Okay. So, for example, if I give x is equal to 10 after writing some program, if I give x is equal to 20, if I print x, it will be only 10.
No, it only 20. Why? Because reset value will be printed.
Okay. So then that is dynamic allocation, right?
No. Allocation means you are talking about the memory, but you are discussing about the data.
Okay.
Okay. Dynamic memory allocation means how much of memory you are going to allocate, how you are going to allocate at the time of runtime or at the time of designing the program. That is called dynamic.
Okay.
Note down this is the memory diagram also. My dear friends, after completion of writing, please tell. Right, Viresh completed. Good. Now, my dear friends, tomorrow I will explain the concept. While naming these variables, we have to follow some rules and regulations. Those rules and regulations are called as scope rules of variables. Scope rules of variables I can explain tomorrow. Right? In today's class, if you have any doubt, you can ask. Otherwise, we will wind up. Okay, done. Good. Amma.
Sir, what is the syllabus of this course?
Okay, syllabus you need. Okay, I will send you. Okay. No problem at all.
So
Okay.
this course is certified course or?
Certification they may. I don't know about that. Okay, right?
Okay.
Okay, I know only one thing, that is its course fees is only 1,000 rupees.
Okay.
It is a special batch. In this batch, it was actually 199, 1,990. So
Okay.
2,000, it was reduced to 1,000 for this summer vacation. All right?
Okay.
Hello, sir.
Amma,
Hello.
Krishnan, tell me.
Yes, sir. This class going to recorded or?
Yes, it is recorded, right?
Okay. Okay. Because I lately joined it. That's why I'm asking.
Okay, no problem at all. You will get all the recording sessions after
Okay.
paying the money. Okay.
Okay. Fine, sir.
So you will get this material also. Every day I
Okay.
will send this material through WhatsApp group. Okay.
Okay.
Good.
Thank you, sir.
Welcome. Right, I am leaving.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Thank you. Very good.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks.